but think of Larry, our beloved board member and community member who was always that voice of, well, it's probably not as bad as we think it is. He would always hold that space when everybody else was running around with their hair on fire. So I love that the imagination is, it's awesome. And Tamara, of course, I always love whatever occurs to you because you grabbed the thing that kept me going this week. The idea that I am here to bring joy, to bring love, to uplift those I come into contact with. I know this to be true about me, so much so that when it's not the case, when someone experiences my true self as being anything other than that, then I call it not a match, not aligned, and that's okay too. So today we get to talk about that and the content that I planned for you to talk about, for me to talk about with you, because this whole month is a what if month. Now let me tell you what it looks like just to frame something that I'm going through, and then I'll bring it back to Ernest Holmes' teaching, which is wildly aligned. What does it look like when you're not holding your highest and not saying, what if? Not trusting your essence that took decades to become you, not trusting that fully, or trusting it, but also filling up your calendar with lots of busy work. Because what if? What if it's not enough? What if who I am and what I'm doing seems to be selling too few courses or too few. I'm looking at my calendar and it's a vast land of emptiness. What can I do? I told myself, well, go ahead and accept whatever comes your way. Listen, I'm available. Create a booking calendar. Let people book me. So people booked me. And this one group booked me to do a lot of government little tidbit classes. We're talking workshops that last 3 hours, and bring it to the government installations where they're using AI. So teach AI, but teach it in this container. And I'm like, sure, I know AI. I could put it in a container, no problem. And that's fine. And then the second thing came, well, they're using a slimmed down version of this AI. So watch all the slides that we put together and make sure that it doesn't have stuff that they can't do. And so I'm in there trying to figure out, all right, but the schedule's full. The schedule's full, and why am I putting my sense of comfort on no availability this week, no availability next week? I don't have any free slots. Look at me, I'm working. I forgot to also note whether I'm working in my area of genius, my joy, laughter, light that I bring. I guess I forgot about that part. So my what if was smaller than my what if. And I allowed my schedule to be booked fully. I'm talking 20 different bookings for these little things at this one government agency that is very buttoned up. And I'm warning you, you already hear the warning. I didn't see it or hear it until it happened. The buttoned up part, the government part, the part that, if y'all have been following me and you've been listening to me, my beloved community, for the past 5 years, you know the drastic change I felt when I left my government contract and showed up on stage and Google told me to tell more jokes. We love your jokes. She's so happy. Yes, please, more. And then I was like, wow, that is not what I heard when I was doing those contracts. Somehow Charlene has a little amnesia because, girlfriend, the way I showed up on Wednesday and I taught my 2 little sessions as me, and the way they had, what is it called when you eat some strawberries and you're allergic? What do you get? Hives? And you end up having a big old inflamed response. Let's just call their response inflamed. And the way my calendar is now clear for the next 20 days, the way that I said, thank you, God. Now, remember, before I was in my what if with all of me, I was like, what if just fill it up? Just fill it up. I'll fit whatever mold they want me to be in. But I forgot I don't do that. I don't do that. Girlfriend does not slim herself down to fit a mold that doesn't serve me. I don't care what that calendar looks like. No, but I forgot. So we would get to remember. And that is what I'm here to talk to you about today. Here's what Ernest Holmes says about that. And we're going to bring it right back around to Tamara's meditation, because there are no accidents. Everything is on purpose for you, no matter what. All right. So our reading comes from this thing called You, Ernest Holmes' book that kind of takes our teachings and puts it into accessible tidbits so you can really relate to it. Listen to this reading. Your subconscious mind is the medium between unconditioned good and the amount of good that you're going to experience. The operation of your subconscious mind is that of a silent force within you, which holds up its image of thought into the universal law of mind, which in turn reflects into your experience. You experience the things that you inwardly believe. He goes on to say, your task is to change these subjective images of thought so that you will automatically attract good. There are no exact formulas for this. You will do well to work out in your own method, always remembering that definite statements produce definite results when these statements are sincerely believed in. The final paragraph, expectancy speeds the progress. Therefore, live in a continual state of expectancy. No matter how much good you are experiencing today, expect greater good tomorrow. Expect to meet new friends. Expect to meet new and wonderful experiences. Try this magic of expectancy, and you will soon discover a dramatic side to your work, which gives full vent to constructive feelingness. And he finally, last sentence, it makes life a game that is a joy to play. It enables you to enter into the spirit of things and the spirit of people. The dancing, the joy, the light that you are. So that was Ernest Holmes, page 66, 67, 67 of Science, this thing called You. Listen, Tamara, I don't even know your students and they're affecting me. It's wild. Okay, so in the science of mind point of view then, Ernest Holmes can easily, if he walked in and was a guest speaker right here next to me, he would say, so let's deconstruct what happened with Charlene. She's consistently proving to herself that these teachings, ancient wisdom, modern science, all of it is actually a lived experience. He would say, did you see how she expected not to have her needs met because she saw a calendar with a lot of open dates? And he would say, did you see how she expected that to mean that she would be scrambling and maybe not have income for the month? And did you see how what wasn't part of her landscape, what wasn't in her purview, what's not in her scope, what doesn't align, was now up for grabs, because when you're feeling like you're not enough, you'll grab on to anything that seems like it might work. He would say she forgot to believe in her higher self. She forgot to believe in that empty space. Because you guys, when my calendar opened up, I breathed a sigh of relief. And I said, good, because I wanted to hold more workshops, more of the vibe coding that some of you attended, more of those lessons where you get to build your own agent and you get to build your own code. I can't create those if I'm busy giving these little one-off talks that I'm not excited about. And it's so funny. There's a couple of examples I'm not even including here where I had several red flags that were waving, like that meme, the guy running across the lawn with a huge red flag and he's running back. There were like 3 other ones I didn't even mention here. So I could have seen it and acted on it, but because I'm also I'm a professional woman, I'm going to show up and do what they hired me to do. And I did it. Maybe what I also did was send out some extra. All right. Maybe, let's say it's pollen. Let's say I'm a tree and that my goodness comes out of me like pollen when it's time for the trees to do their thing. And that government client is allergic. I was extra pollinating that day, so much so that I used my colloquialisms a little too often. And I'm wondering if I did that on purpose. I'm wondering if my higher self purposely slid in a little allergen. Here's another one. Because what we're not going to do is commit to 20 more of these unless y'all know for sure what you're going to get. And they were like, nope, that's okay. We're moving on to a more predictable, probably a man, probably buttoned up, and probably doesn't tell any jokes. Go for it. Because let me tell you about Monday and Tuesday and Thursday and Friday, the sandwich that was the poop in the middle. That sandwich, love you, and that thing in the middle said, you could do better. So look at how the universe always gives us something to help, what's that word? Mitigate the risks and the terribleness of what's happening right now. Look around. There's probably a fix right near there. There's probably another message that was trying to get through. I'm reminded of Kristen, one of our congregants here at CSL Leesburg. She would say, you know, when you eat locally, you are having the medicinal protection from whatever might be an allergen. So if you eat honey from nearby, that honey might give you what you need to offset the pollen that comes from that tree. That's all part of an ecosystem. So that whenever you're faced with something, because we always take that and make it bigger, whenever you're faced with something in your life and you think it's all terrible, look around. What if something bigger? Just take your scope, make it a bit bigger. You'll see the solution right next to the problem, because the divine never just gives you a problem. It's also here. Remember the atom bomb, but also the Gnostic texts. There's always something. It looks like a closed window. Everything's closed because you're doing like this. Open. Oh, duh. Let me go over that way. There's a move. There's a pivot. And our problem is our expectancy. When we start doubting ourselves, because we're comparing ourselves from the outside looking in, from the not good enough, I can't do it, it's not mine, I have to wait. Whenever we're doing that, we're getting smaller and we can't see the gifts. So that defying explanation, that expectancy is, oh, there's got to be a pony in here somewhere. That feeling that says, I will not take the poop that's in front of me as the final answer. I am looking for what else is here for me, because what we're not doing is calling anything a failure. We're calling things success or learning, never failure. It's I successfully did it and I learned a little more about what not to do next time over here. It's a list of positivity running down. If we had a diary or a day planner that just had a bunch of things that happened, you could go through it and say success, yup, or learning. Sometimes you successfully learn, but sometimes you're learning. Let's be honest. When it has your attention, circumstances that so-called go wrong, they get your attention so you can learn. And sure, I'll forget again. I'll forget. But the beautiful part is I get to learn again and choose again. I have this belief that all is good. It's all good. It's unfolding good. Even if in this very moment it might be kind of, I get to sit with that. And the way Melinda, the way she helps us sit with what we don't like long enough to get that intuitive insight on how to do our next, how to move, how to just be with it. That's valuable too. So I guess what I'm saying is, this science of mind point of view is our belief allows us to expect good. And because we expect good, we're going to find it. And when we find it, I hope that all of us here turn around and share it. That our good is no fun when we keep it to ourselves. Much more fun when you have your light, your laughter, and your dancing and your singing, and you have people that you're doing it with. So that's the idea here. We have our belief in the power of the divine. Life is always good, all the time, even when it appears to be not so great, because in there's something boiling, something cooking, and it is good. So what we have to do, step 1, expect beyond what it looks like. Expect beyond. Now that's the part where I'll take you back to last month when I started saying yes and giving people my schedule and we're filling up. Turns out it may appear that all these things are created equal. A booking is a booking. No, I need us to look deeper, because we're going to have some things appear before us to be one thing, but I would love for myself in the future to expect more and to communicate what I expect. Even if that means sharing a little bit about myself and sharing here's my style and sharing whether that's a good fit for their group. Expecting a match or expecting an upfront allergic reaction. Like, get that quicker. Get it quicker. So that we know that only what sticks is what is for the aligned experience for both parties. Nobody wants to feel icky. Neither side of that. So to find the right balance between offering what you have to serve, offering what your services are, and then knowing that there is an alignment needed to lock that in. That's what I'm talking about. Go beyond the appearance of, I'm just trying to fill the pipeline. Pipeline needs filling. No, let's just a little more discernment. And then, for me, since it's Women's Month, it's National Women's History Month, we know something else, that the feminine needs to be in the room as much as the masculine. And if you are more of a feminine, I'm thinking more Melinda, she'll hold that space for you. She's definitely in her feminine, big time. It's that womb. It's that sitting in the unknowingness of it all. That's that divine creative spark that's more receptive. That's equally important as being in the other part, which is the driving. Set intention, move forward, change the world, make a splash, do the things. So there's being, and then there's doing, and then there's being, and then informed doing, and then more being and more doing. And it is that balance of the divine as it moves through both poles, feminine and masculine. And I'm not talking woman or man. Each of us has the two poles. We just tend to get more comfortable in one of them, and it's okay to be comfortable in it, but invite the other in. Invite it in. And this is what we call the marriage, the divine marriage of the two polar opposites. Because the energy is like a yin-yang symbol where we need both sides, both of them. And it's a fluid situation. And you'll look at any opposites. You'll think beauty and the lack of beauty. I don't want to say ugly, but there's some things that you're not, some things that you're like, and other things are like, yay. They're opposites, but bring them in. Both of them are us. And you look at polarization of the different parties in the United States politically. Both of them seem to be at odds, but they're one. They're a lot of times you listen to what some are saying, sometimes you can't figure out which side you're coming from because it's so fluid. So we love to say, I want this thing and I'm going to ignore everything else. But we're not talking about a world where we get to bypass the truth or bypass negative things or ignore. What we're saying is look at it, know that we're one with it, and then use it for the higher good for all involved. This is unapologetically expecting what we would like to experience. Out of all of the possibles that the world could do, we are leading what happens to us with our subconscious beliefs, our expectations. So let us go ahead and seed that with what it is we do want, and then allow all of it to be, I say married, but allow all of it inside. We are all of the things. That which we love, that which we would love to improve. We're all of those things. And so it's a little bit of a trick holding both. But expectancy in troubled times is the most important talent. And I would say these times you might call them trouble. Am I right? If you can live in expectancy during these times where we're not certain about a lot of the outcomes of whatever is going on in the world, and there are many opinions on what's going on in the world. I'm not here to bring you the news. You can always get that on a different channel somewhere. But I'll let you know that when we're looking at that so-called news, what we need to do is not let that despair define how we see the world. Don't let the fact that there is despair make you look at the world in any other way than expectant of love and joy. And it seems a little weird. How could you expect good things when it looks so bad? And I love the word expectant because you know where I'm going to go with this. Have you ever been a mom expecting a baby to come out? And I would say that's not pretty. But if you stay in the weeds of the problem and how that, I don't know about you. There I was the size of a small plane. I was huge. And I knew that baby was coming out of me. And it was either one way or the other way. And it was not going to be, I knew this. And I said, well, if I stay in the process so much, I'm going to forget there's a gift at the end. I'm going to forget that. So I can't make myself all worried about the process. And I think that since we're in a world where the process seems very long and messy, we cannot forget to be an expectant midwife of what we're bringing forth. And that means that there's stuff we don't see, but it's happening for our own good. It's happening. It's unfolding. There are magical things happening that we can't see that are unfolding for our highest good as a country, as women. Because we do birth, we bring forth things. And yes, there are women now in this very moment who have just got the memo. Oh, let me go do what I knew I was supposed to do here on this planet. Let me go ahead and run for office. Let me go ahead and organize this group. Let me go ahead and start that thing because I've been putting it off and it's not getting any better. There's some people that are called to act and now they're acting. We don't see them yet, but they will arrive. They are on their way. And if that's you, then yay. But each of us is here for a particular reason, for a particular gift. And we meet our challenges with a conviction that, one, we get to hold the high watch for what is good that's coming from this and what is ours to do in this moment that brings the good forth. And that just might be saying no to things that don't align. Just your little tiny step of saying, it's probably best if someone else delivers that. Or it's probably best if I let someone else step in and do that. Say no if you're not feeling a heck yes. It's not yours to do. Let's not mess with divine purpose. And then when you feel divinely led to do something that turns you on fire, and when you get the response like, yay, do that again, do more of that. When you're happy doing it, people are happy watching you do it, and then they're giving you all the feedback. I feel like that's called a match. Here for a purpose. Do more of that. And just in case you're tempted to do something that someone else wants you to do, check in. Is this mine? And it's okay to say no. And this is what we're doing. Everybody is getting that message right here, right now. So yes, something is birthing. No, it's not going to be fast. And if we keep our eyes on what it is we do want with a belief and a knowledge that good is unfolding, even if it looks kind of messy right now, find the joy in it. If you need to wallow in it, wallow in the pain. We have a workshop coming up where you can go and rage with a purpose. Get it out of your system so you can get back to being fantastic. And let's see what life can do as a group of people who are individually on fire in their own way, and then they come together and get on fire in a bigger way. Well, yikes, I feel like the rest is just going to momentum its way, just like a baby. Try to hold it back. I'll just hold it tight so we could have it on the 8th, because the 8th is a good day. The baby said, ha, you thought, I'm here. That's what's going to happen. We are the thrust of creativity, doing what it is we're here to do, and everybody just needs to get out of the way and maybe get some fresh towels, a little water. All right. So this week, I need you to do in your journal. I need you this week to write in your journal, what am I truly expecting from this area in my life? Not how do I expect it to show up? What am I truly expecting? And then if some sense of fear peeks in, or some past disappointment or something that's really worrying you, then I need you to imagine something bigger. What if that wasn't the case? What if you were just not wide enough on that lens? Go panoramic if you have to. And then imagine shifting from the what am I expecting out of if you're thinking of avoiding fear, start shifting that to what can I grow into? What am I truly expecting? Because that joy, that thing that turns you on fire, that's available. It's right here, right now. We just have to take the time to be with that feminine energy, that expectant, that creative, that womb energy, and just know something is bubbling up. And then we walk from that. So I do know that this week has good things for you. I can't wait to hear what some of you come up with in yours to-do territory. Let's go into prayer. There's only one divine energy, one divine feminine energy that is also masculine energy. For it is the one, it is the marriage of all opposites. It is the oneness that is in and through it as all things. As we turn our attention in, we know that that's where we live. We abide in that energy. And that fertile ground will give life to any seed that we plant. So I speak my word that today we choose those seeds that bring forth good fruit, goodness to the life that we live, so that we may abundantly share from the overflow of the gifts. And we are a blessing to everyone on the planet, especially those that we come into contact this week. I know this is unfolding perfectly, that my life is unfolding perfectly, and so is everyone's life within the within the sound of my voice. I release my word knowing that it's already unfolding. I say yes, the universe says yes, it is all good. I release, I let it go, and let it be. And so it is.
Well, I have to say something because I've been inspired to.
Good.
You know, I'm thinking about when I want to really get help with my discernment. I want to strengthen it. Mm-hmm. My self-discernment, also my discernment around the outer world, and my expectations, which is what Charlene's talking about. It helps me to get back to a more essential place. Like, it's almost like going back to, you know, the really primordial sort of feeling. And in the guidance for ministers this week, it talks about that, about how you have to go back and cultivate your sense of wonder. And that helps clean up your consciousness in some way. Anyway, this is a beautiful song written by Robert Anderson about that. Today in my school, in world history, teacher popped a quiz. He said, "This is easy. Just name the 7 wonders of the world for me." So this is what we wrote. The pyramids of Egypt, the Taj Mahal, the Panama Canal, China's Great Wall, world-famous landmarks, we counted them all. Yes, they got every vote. Then I noticed a shy girl who sits next to me hadn't turned in her list. It was plain to see. Teacher asked her what the trouble might be, and this is what she said. "There's so many answers, I don't know what to say." Teacher said, "Maybe we can help find a way. Just read us your list." The girl hesitated, and this is what she read. To touch, to see, to taste, and to feel, to laugh, and to hear, to love while we're here. Oh, these are such a wonder, wonderful wonders, 7 wonders of the world. Well, you could have heard a pin drop in that room. Nobody spoke, nobody moved, till someone asked the girl to say it once more through. And so she spoke again. Sing along. To touch, to see, to taste, and to feel, to laugh, and to hear, to love while you're here. Ah, these are such a wonder, wonderful wonders, 7 wonders of the world. Again, to touch, to see, to taste, and to feel, to laugh, and to hear, to love while we're here. Ah, these are such a wonder, wonderful wonders, 7 wonders of the world. 7 wonders of the world.
Oh my goodness, Soul Pajamas, Aaron Dan. I loved that song. That was beautiful. And you know what I was thinking too? Every little child in that classroom was a wonder of the world, just like